Good morning. Today we will revise making of equivalent fractions. For making equivalent fractions, it's first important to know what does it mean. For this, we will take an example using strips. This is one strip. Let's divide this strip into two equal parts. So we have divided this strip into two equal parts. Let's take another strip of the same size. Here we have divided a strip of similar dimensions into four equal parts. Another strip over here of the similar dimension has been divided into six equal parts. And here we go for the division of a similar strip into eight equal parts. Now let's compare them. Let's cover half of each strip. This has been colored one half, so one half. Over here we have colored two pieces, it's 2/4. The half over here is 3 out of 6, it's 3/6. And here we go for 4 pieces out of 8, so it's 4/8. Now, if you observe them, these all fractions in their appearance, they look similar to each other. It means half of each strip has been shaded. But if we have a look at the numerators and denominators of the fraction, they are different from each other. But if we carefully observe them, we will feel a pattern being followed by the numbers. If we have a look at the denominators are increasing by number 2, whereas the numerators are increasing by number 1. So it means that the denominators are following the table of 2. Same has been observed by the numerators. 1 into 2 is 2, 1 into 3 is 3, 1 into 4 is 4. So what have we concluded from it? That both numerator and denominator are multiplied by a common factor to find out the other equivalent fraction. So here lies the tip of finding out equivalent fractions. We can find out equivalent fractions and the number never ends because counting never ends. The only thing which we need to follow is that multiply numerator and denominator of the same fraction by a common factor. In this way we can find out equivalent fractions and we can complete the missing numbers and given trail of equivalent fraction. Now let's take few examples and check our understanding. Here the fraction is 10/20th, 30/60th and 50/100th these are equivalent pair of fractions. If you observe the relation in between them, 10 multiplied by 3 gives us 30. 20 into 3 gives us 60. So yes, we have multiplied 10/20th by a common factor which was 2 over here to find out another pair of equivalent fraction. And if we compare 10/20th with 50/100th, same pattern is followed over here. Here 10 has been multiplied by factor 5 and similarly the denominator has also been multiplied by 5 and we got a pair of equivalent fraction. So it's time to take our notes. So the rule is equivalent fractions can only be made by multiplying or dividing. Obviously, when we reverse back from a bigger number fraction into a smaller one, so we will divide. And whatever we do with the numerator has to be done with the denominator. So this is the rule of finding or completing equivalent fractions. So kindly note down this rule. Let's come back to the previous example and demonstrate the steps. 1/2 into 2 gave us 2/4. We have multiplied both numerator and denominator by factor 2 to find out the equivalent fraction. Let's take another example. Here the fraction is 3/4 whereas the other equivalent fraction is incomplete. So first we will find out that what number is numerator multiplied to get 9. 3 into 3 is 9. It means that 3 has been multiplied by 3 to get 9. So we will multiply 4 by 3 to complete the denominator. And what will we get? Yes, 12. Let's complete this one. 15 and 20. Okay, let's solve these examples together. Now, over here, the numerator is This fraction is incomplete and we have to find out the numerator. So we will check 5 multiplied by what number gave us 55? Yes, it's 11. So multiply 4 with 11 to complete this. 44. Okay, let's move to this one. 2 into 6 is 12. So we will multiply 7 by 6 as well to complete the fraction. 6 into what number gives us 54? Find it out, please. Yes, 6 into 9 is 54, so multiply 5 by 9 as well. Yes, 4 into 7 is 28, so multiply 9 by 7 and we will get 63 here. I hope you are getting clear now. It's not important that every time you multiply, if you are given the fraction which has bigger numbers in it and it is complete and you have to complete the fraction with the smaller number, obviously you will apply the inverse of division, that is the inverse of multiplication, that is division. So find out 1 into 5 is 5. So what we do to 10 to get the denominator of 1? Obviously, we will move back. When we move in the reverse direction, we will divide 10 by 5 to get the denominator. So when we divide 10 by 5, we will get 2. So this is how we complete equivalent fractions, by multiplying and dividing. But make sure numerator and denominator has to be multiplied or divided by a common factor. For this, you need to be very quick in your timetables. Now I will just take another example which will help you to complete trail of equivalent fractions. If we have a look at these trails of equivalent fraction, there are more than one fractions which have to be completed by a given fraction. The first example is quite simple over here because we have been given a fraction in the simplest form. We can multiply both of them by any common factor to get as many fractions as we want to. But if we come towards our second example, it's a pretty hard because we have to complete the missing fractions in it. For this, whenever you are given an example like this, it's important to first of all complete the simplest fraction. Simplest fraction means the fraction which has the smallest numbers in it. Over here, if we check, this fraction is the smallest one which has the numerator 12. So kindly check with the other numbers. Now, 192 divided by what number gives you 12? Find it out. Find out that. First complete this fraction and then move to for completing the other missing numbers. This is the work which has been assigned to you. In this, we will just go through the example. If you have a look at the first example, it is simple because the simplest fraction has been given to you. With the help of this simplest fraction, you can complete all these fractions. Let's say for finding out the first one, you will check the relation between 10 and 20, apply the same function with numerator to complete it. Same procedure will be applied for the second one, but when we come to the third example, over here bigger number fraction has been given in the beginning, whereas the ones which have to be completed, they are smaller numbers. So for this, it is always important to complete the simplest fraction. Find out the fraction which has the smallest numbers in it. If we have a look, this fraction seems to be the simplest one because denominator 6 is smaller over here. So first of all, check that 144 divided by what number gives you 6. Find out from here. Divide 120 by the same number to complete this fraction first. With the help of this fraction, you can complete the other fractions. Best of luck.